حرزنا الجزاء للمنى حبرنا هو الماجد للعلا.
حمدا لفالق الحب والنوى وخالق العبد وما نوى. Amma ba'd, to our brothers in faith and our sisters in Islam, welcome back to Tricks of Midday Thieves. This is our second thief that we will learn from today. And today's thief is called Shuwaya. Shuwaya is the name of today's thief. What's the name of today's thief? Ya Ammu Salih. Shuwaya. That's the name of today's thief. And this thief steals in the midday, does not hide, and does not put mask either. So it's very clear in the plain sight. This Shuwaya steals. This thief, known as Shuwaya, Imam Yunus ibn Habib, rahimahullah. Yunus ibn Habib was one of the Imams of Nahu. Khalil al-Rahman. Yunus ibn Habib was one of the Imams of Nahu. His teacher was Abu Amr al-Basri. Does this name sound familiar? Mustafana. Abu Amr al-Basri was the third Imam of Quran in different methods of reading Quran. His student is the one who learned from this Imam the recitation Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim Maliki Yawmiddin. This is his recitation. This is how he learned from his teacher, from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So this Imam was not only an Imam in Quran, he was also an authority when it comes to Arabic grammar. His student is Yunus ibn Habib. So Yunus ibn Habib reported this statement. Yunus ibn Habib said, from my teacher Abu Amr al-Basri ibn al-Ala, he said, there was a man whom Almighty blessed with a very beautiful wife. His wife was very beautiful. And he used to honor her and used to take care of her well. But now her own peers or her own friends, they envied this woman because of two things. One, her beauty, and two, the way her husband used to what? Treat her. Because as a man who really wants to follow the code of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you respect your wife and you honor her and you take care of her. And that's why Yip Man, the teacher of Bruce Lee, he said it is only strong men who really honor their wives, even though he wasn't a Muslim. In any case, this blessed woman, blessed with beauty, blessed with a husband who used to take care of her well. So her own friends envied this woman. One of them couldn't handle it. So she came to her and asked her, who's reporting this statement? Yunus ibn Habib from Abi Amr al-Basri, the Imam of Quran and the Imam of Nahu. So he said, Yunus, from his teacher, that a lady came to this beautiful woman who was being taken care of by her husband, and she asked her, what is your situation with your husband in the house? You see how thief talks? Does that concern her? Is that her business? من حسن إسلام المرء تركه ما لا يعنيه. Part of having the best character as a Muslim is not to indulge in that which does not what? Concern you. That's not her business. What is your situation home? I want to find out whether you're happy or not. So she said, well, my husband takes care of me because number one, she envies her because of her beauty. And two, she wanted to find out a way to defeat her. So she came and said, okay, what is your situation home? What's going on? She said, my husband actually takes good care of me. And there's nothing in this world that he doesn't do to please me. She said, have you tested Shuwayat al-Radbi or Shuwayat al-Radfi? Shuwayatu al-Radfi. Have you tested that? She said, what is that? Shuwayatul Radfi. Shuwayatul Radfi. I've never heard of that. Have you heard of this before? So she asked, have you heard of Shuwayatul Radfi? She said, I never heard of that. She said, what type of husband do you even have? A husband that never bought Shuwayatul Radfi for you to even taste, and you claim that he loves you? You better wake up, girl. That's the type of advice women get today for the most part, right? So now she thinks she's receiving advice from this lady. So she said to her, Yunus ibn Habib reported that كيف يزعم أنه يحبك وقد منعك حظك من شواية الرضف. How could he really claim that he loves you when he deprived you from having shuwayatul radfi? That is common among people today. She said, Wama shuwayatul radfi? I want to know, what is shuwayatul radfi? She said, that is the best food in the world, and common food he can't even give. And you never tasted that? She said, I never. He said, then his love for you is nothing but kalam. It's just talk. So you better get that. If not, all what your husband is saying or what he is doing for you is nothing. So that night when the husband arrived, the face that was like moon on the 15th day of the lunar calendar turned to be like that of cougar. Y'all know cougar? The cat, cougar, the one that looks like leopard, but with fur. Her face changed like cougar. She doesn't smile. She doesn't talk to him. He said, what happens, ya bint al-am? What's going on, my family? She's not even responding to him. Then he kept on asking, did I do something wrong? She said, تزعم يبن العم or يبن عمي تزعم أني عليك كريمة وأن لي عندك مزية كيف وقد منعتني حظي من شواية الرطف. You claim that I'm honored by you and that I have the highest status and nobody among the women today has that level. It's just kalam or you really mean it? He said, of course. He said, but you never bought shuwayat al-ratfi for me in your life. Huh? Shuwayat al-ratfi? What is shuwayat al-ratfi? She said, that's the best food. So from there he realized that she had been what? She had been duped. She's gone. But he doesn't want to create problem because, you know, a good husband always takes care of the house. If there is fire, he what? He puts the fire down. Because two fires meet, what happens? Conflagration and inferno, right? So always when she's bringing fire, as intelligent, you what? You take the down part and fix it. So he said, well, in that case, if this is the case, this is what I will ask you. Only what I want you to do for me, that shuwayat al-ratfi that everybody eats from, you have to get some for me. So he said, okay, ya bint al-am, don't worry. Tonight, inshallah, we make sure when we finish our task, we go and get you some what? Shuwayat al-ratfi. So when they finish, وَانْتَهَوْا مِنْ مِهْنِهِمْ وَغَبُوقِهِمْ, when they finished, he went. And he asked for shuwayat al-radfi. Can he get shuwayat al-radfi? They said, no, there's not such a thing as shuwayat al-radfi. What type of food is that? There's not such a thing. So he told her, and she said, no, I don't trust you. She already told me that you don't even have intention of having it for me. So he said, well, I will continue and ask. And so he went and asked for shuwaya. So they gave him like a yogurt that is left on the fire and it's really hot. So they gave it to him, but it was covered. When he came, he gave it to his wife. He said, well, this is what I was told as shuwayatul radfi. And they said it has to remain like that. When it's time for you to eat it, just put it in your mouth and swallow it. So she said, today I get the best food, shuwayatul radfi. Welcome. She thought she having like some nice barbecue with barbecue sauce, or she's having some delicious food, but she doesn't know that actually the A had filled up the chick, and on Sunday Chick-fil-A doesn't open. So what happened? So, so what happened here? She took it and put it in her mouth. You know what happened when she put it in her mouth? Yunus ibn Habib said, what I reported from my sheikh is that her tongue burned. She burned her what? Her tongue. And could not even speak. You know, in Arabic, when a person has impediment when it comes to speech, it's called ay. Ay, like ayn, yay, mushaddada. So in Arabic, if they say, I want you to memorize this, Abdul Ahad, Khalil, Abdul Rahman, Nadru Aishu, Stafana, Ammu Salih, memorize this. In Arabic, when say fulanun fihi ayyun wa hasr, that means he can articulate. Ayyun wa hasr. Hasr, ay and hasr, that means a person cannot articulate, a person can't speak clearly. Okay? So you ask Allah to save you from ay and what? And hasr. So this is very powerful Arabic. Keep it and put it in your dictionary. So fihi ayyun wa hasr. She said, the lady said, لم أكن أعلم أن عيي وحصري قد عافاني. I didn't know my عي, meaning lack of articulation. I wasn't, in my previous life, I never challenged my husband. I never spoke back to him. And I never argued with him. But all of this that I counted as ay and hasr, I did not know that they were saving me and saving my tongue from being what? Burned. But today that I spoke back to my husband, following the advice of that friend of mine, look at me today, I cannot even articulate well. And when she speaks, it's like she mumbles as she talks. So she said, عِيِّ وَحَصْرِي قَدْ عَافَانِي. My عِيِّ and hasr saved me all this while. And then she said, if I had ignored the advice of Shuwayat al-Radfi, I would have been protected today for the rest of my life. So what she said became mathal, an adage in Arabic language. So in Arabic, when they say Shuwayat al-Radfi, that means someone is trying to steal your intelligence. Someone is playing games with you to deceive you. Someone is trying to outsmart you. Someone is trying to, play with you intellectually. So the thief that comes during the day, when he comes, he doesn't put his or her hand in your pocket. What do they steal? Your intelligence. She did not investigate. That Shuwayatul Rotfi, I never heard of it. Something that I never heard of it. Do I even need it? Do I need it if you never heard of it? But she was allowed to be what? Played with. And this is what she got. And she went in life without being able to what? To speak clearly. And that's how she ended up in her life with that speech impediment. Who caused that? Who caused that? Herself. Who did she listen to? The woman. Did she really love to advise her sincerely? Did she advise her sincerely? So what did she play on her tricks? When did she do that? At night? Did she put mask on? Did she come at night hiding to give this advice? When did it happen? Broad daylight. So that's why, as a person who loves somebody else, as a Muslim, Prophet ﷺ said, Al-Muslimu akhul muslimi la yakhdhulu. A Muslim is a brother to another Muslim. He does not humiliate him, nor does he deceive him. A Muslim does not deceive his brother, وَلَا يَكْذِبُهُ, and he does not lie to him either. As a Muslim, whatever the truth is, tell your brother. Don't hide it. Don't lie to him. And that's why lying to the non-believers during the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is actually a blasphemous act. It's shameful act for a person to lie. Even they were kafirs. Abu Sufyan, when he was asked by Heraclitus, Herakl, what do you say about Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? What did he say? He said, he is my number one enemy, but I can't lie. I have to tell you the truth. So imagine someone whose enemy, number one enemy was Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, whose aim is to kill him and eliminate him. Yet he was asked by a king who could aid him to defeat him, yet he said, I still cannot what? I can't lie. So as Muslims, let's try our best to be vigilant, intelligent, and act wisely and prudent. And do not allow anyone to deceive us, even they come heavy like elephant. So with your utmost best, try to distinguish who is advising you sincerely and who is playing tricks on you. And this goes to the young generation. The friends that we have, the associates that we have outside, they may impel us to do something, thinking that they love us. But in reality, the advice is not what? It's not genuine. You get that, Salih? You get that? You see the reason why we have to learn about tricks of midday thieves. So it's not always learning about good people in history. Right? Salih. You see the reason why? Because this became mathal. It becomes an adage. It becomes a proverb in Arabic language. The moment you say in Arabic language, أبلغني حظي من شواية الرضف, they know you are a tricky person. Because that's how this proverb was reserved to be in Arabic language. So I ask all of you, especially the student, Mustafana, if someone sounds like he's tricky, tell him I don't need shuwayat al-radfi. Abdul Ahad, tell them I don't need shuwayat al-radfi. Khalil al-Rahman, tell them I appreciate you, but I don't need shuwayat what? Abdul Rahman, tell them I don't need what? Aishu, tell them you don't need what? You don't need what? Nadru, tell the friends that trying to trick you that you don't need what? Shuwayatul radfi. Because in Arabic, this is what is reserved to be for tricky people. Those who advise, but deep down they try to what? Deceive. This is what happened between our president and Ben Carson. Y'all know Ben Carson, right? The one who tried to run for presidency back in the days. Y'all know the doctor? You know, our president called him a pedophile. And then a week later, they saw him supporting the president. They said, he called you a pedophile last week. Why are you following? He said, we have two Trumps, the bad one and the good one. Last week, he was the bad one that I was dealing with. But today, I'm dealing with the good one. This is to say that politics is all about what? Interest. It's all about what? Interest. That's what politics is. Nothing but interest. What benefits me, I'm with you. If it doesn't benefit me, I'm against you. The same thing. What happened between Hillary Clinton and Barack Hussein Obama back in 2008? What happened? Huh? What happened? They were friends? They were fighting, they were both candidates, right? And they were what? Both of them had, each one of them had its own gloves. She had her own glove and he had his own glove. And what happened in the battlefield? They kept on exchanging punches. In 2016, what happened? They became friends. And Obama was supporting her to be what? So it's all about what? Interest. So Shuwayatul Radfi may come like he loves you and he's giving you sincere advice, but it's for their own what? Interest. So this is the second midday thieves. The second midday thief that we learn from tricks of midday thieves. So reserve that. And also this lady, where did she graduate from? From the University of Iblis. And he gave her his own stamp as principal of that university. Remain blessed until we see you in another sitting of midday thieves. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to save you, your wives, your children from Shuwayatul Radfi. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, whoever will try to play tricks on them, may Allah save them for you. May Allah protect your children. May Allah make them better than you. And we ask Allah that your children receive better than what you have achieved in life. And we ask Allah for our children to be better Muslims than we are. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to be the carriers of the banner of Islam after we are all gone. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when we are in our graves, whatever our children will be doing, for the reward to reach us. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us proud of our own children. Allahumma ameen. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala never to allow them to be tricked by evil people in life. Thank you very much for your time. Wassalamu alaikum. Khitaman wabtida.
حرزنا الحرز